Hello everyone, my name is Siregar and I'm currently enrolled in the Faculty of Computer Science, majoring in Informatics in Universitas Kalabat. And today I'll be telling you guys what happened when Indonesian traditional culture collides with cyberpunk warfare. Today we'll be analyzing Wardeka, an Indonesian ambitious attempt to challenge mobile gaming giants like PUBG and Free Fire, and this is my comprehensive game development analysis covering all sort of criteria involving the game, like narrative design, mechanics, aesthetic, and unique challenges facing this culturally driven shooter. Developed by Big Data Interactive from Manado, North Sulawesi, Wardeka represents more than just another mobile shooter game. It's a digital manifestation of an Indonesian national identity wrapped in a competitive esport gameplay. Before we dive into our analysis, I need to address some important disclaimer. First, Wardeka is currently only available exclusively on Android devices through Google Play Store and various other APK platforms. The game, uh, for my knowledge, has previously had plan for iOS development or has, but Big Data Interactive appeared to have suspended iOS support for the meantime due to unrelated issues, and currently focuses on entirely on Android releases. Additionally, from my personal experience with the game, I found the initial user experience quite confusing. Upon first opening the application, I feel like I was thrown directly into the gameplay without any proper guidance. While this could be seen as a jump right into it approach, I couldn't locate any tutorial system between the app itself. This might be a user error on my part, remember that, but it's worth noting for potential new players who might face similar onboarding challenges. Let's begin with the narrative formation and how stories function in a competitive multiplayer game. Wardeka unfold in Indonesia, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, a futuristic Indonesian-inspired metropolis house within a massive protective dome. The world building centers around some kind of powerful energy source that enable impossible technology but create conflicts between different factions. Unlike traditional single-player narrative, Wardeka employs environmental storytelling. Each 5v5 matches represent territorial skirmish for control of Indonesia districts. Player encounter familiar Indonesian elements such as traditional architecture, local art, but with a little bit of twist, they were reimagined in a cyberpunk context. This create narrative through gameplay rather than cutscenes, uh, which is the norm for traditional games. Game design and philosophy, Big Data Interactive operates under CEO Andrea Wahyudi with clear mission, which is elevating North Sulawesi's characteristic to the international stage. Their approach represents what I will personally call digital patriotism, using gaming as a platform for cultural expression. The designer specifically targeted Indonesian and Southeast Asian markets, partnering with schools for educational initiative and Maja Mojo for technical infrastructure. From what I found, Wayudi philosophy states, in the age of Cybernesia, where lines of code connects us, we honor the spirit of Sumpah Pemuda. This design philosophy makes culture authentication central to the game mechanics, rather than a superficial decoration. However, the execution faces significant challenges in player acquisition and retention. Analyzing player objective and option, Wardeka employs a team-based territorial control as their primary victory condition. Team compete in a 5v5 matches, focuses on competitive team combat with a national ranking system, with a variety of game modes that we, the player, can choose from. Player option include character aligned with customization system offering a variety of Indonesian culture themes, cyberpunk, cyberpunk aesthetic, military gear, and musician outfits. The weapon system provide multiple categories. For example, swords, sniper rifle, assault weapons, handgun, and specialized weapons with unique Wardeka characteristics. This variety aims to enable diverse tactical approaches, though the lack of tutorial system makes it difficult for new players to understand this option effectively. The unique mechanical innovation lies in its integration of Indonesian culture elements into the gameplay system. Territorial control mechanically ties directly into the game narrative, while the ranking system creates a progressive link to all the national themes. The game aesthetic represents its strongest selling point, or what makes the game unique. Wardeka is a street art meets cyberpunk visual identity. Art direction successfully blend neon lit futuristic technology with warm Indonesian culture elements. Character design incorporates batik patterns into a futuristic armor, while environmental art features traditional architecture with cyberpunk modification. The interface optimized mobile touch control for 5-player coordination while maintaining consistency. Visual effects include weapon-specific animation, environmental particles effect for the game system, the dynamic lighting to enhance the cyberpunk atmosphere. Drawing from cyberpunk cinema dramatic language, uh, dramatic lighting, neon palettes, dystopian atmosphere, while grounding this in an Indonesian street culture create a unique visual tension. The patriotic theme add emotional weight beyond typical competitive gaming. Development theoretically accommodates newcomers through accessible control while providing strategic depth for more experienced player. However, the complete absence of a tutorial system creates a significant barrier for new players, potentially explaining the game's minimal player adoption despite the ongoing development. Flows maintain occur through balanced pacing between action and strategy, continuous progression via ranking system, and social engagement through team-based gameplay. However, the steep learning curve, despite without proper onboarding, likely disturb flows for new players. Analyzing the current market performance revealed critical challenges. With only a few downloads on the Google Play Store after a few moments of being available, Wardeka faces severe player acquisition problem. More concerning is the complete absence of user reviews across a few platforms that I was able to find. Not negative per se, but zero engagement, suggesting fundamental issues with the player retention. The game competes against established titans with hundreds of millions of downloads in the Indonesian market, but technical implementation appear competent, with regular updates showing development commitment. From a game development perspective, Wardeka demonstrate both a potential and pitfall of cultural game development. The authentic Indonesian identity successfully differentiate the product, but the execution gaps in the user experience design and marketing strategy prevent it from reaching its intended audience. Wardeka represents an important case study in regional game development, providing local studios can create technical competitive products while maintaining cultural identity. However, its struggles highlight that quality development alone isn't sufficient. Successful games require comprehensive user experience design, effective tutorial, and a robust community building. The game future depends on big data's ability to address fundamental onboarding issues and build player community rapidly. Whenever it became a national success story or remain a cautionary tale about the challenges of competing in a saturated mobile gaming market will largely depend on this critical improvement. So let me ask you this. What's your perspective on the importance of tutorial system in a competitive game, and should cultural authentication take priority over international appeal? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more game development analysis. Thank you for watching.